Tip number 206 from the book 501 Contractor Tips. It's a tax write-off. Don't fall into this trap. I can't tell you how many contractors I've met who buy something because they can write it off and they never even use it. Or they buy something they could have rented. You use a jackhammer once a year, so hey, I'm going to go out and buy a jackhammer. That's fine if it's going to make it easier for you. Knock yourself out. But don't buy something because in the back of your mind you're thinking, hey, I need a tax write-off, or you need a tax write-off and it's not going to be something that's going to be beneficial. Like I just said about a jackhammer, if you only need it once a year or once every other year, then you probably don't need it in your garage. You don't need it in your tool set. You don't need it at your office. So think about that. I cannot tell you how many people I have met who are actually sold on the idea that it's a tax write-off. The salesperson will present this to them and they're trying to get a hook into the victim, and they say, hey, don't forget, you can write this off. You can write it off as a business expense. Who cares? If you need a printer and you only need to buy a $200 printer, don't buy the $400 printer. Don't buy the $800 printer. And for sure, do not buy the $5,000 printer. And again, I can't tell you how many times I've came across contractors who do not understand the basic concept of this simple tip. Do not buy anything because it's a tax write-off. If you are going to use the items and you need a tax write-off, make sure they're items that you're going to use within a short period of time. I actually one year went out and bought a whole bunch of nails. I knew I was going to use these gun nails. I went out and bought all sorts of different types of them. And ended up throwing them away. Ended up, losing them. Actually, in one case, I lost it when our house burned down. Now, this is when it's not going to provide you with any benefits. If you're going to go out and spend $500, but only use $100 worth of the materials, and now you have $400 sitting at your property, getting old or rusting, something like that, then you aren't winning. You just took $500, used $100 of it, and threw $400 down the toilet. You got a $500 tax deduction. If you're in a 30% tax bracket, you would have saved, hold on here, got to do my math, $250? No, that's not right. $500, 30% of 100 is 30 times 5, $1,500. So you might have saved $1,500 on your taxes. Used $100 worth of the product. $100 in tax savings, $150 in tax savings, $100 worth of product used, $250. You just threw $250 down the toilet. It's not that difficult to figure this tip out, but I understand the complexity of it because we're humans. We're motivated by other humans. They convince us to do something. They convince us that we need something when we really don't. You've got to be smart enough to figure out what you really need, if it's going to be beneficial, and whether or not you're planning on buying it, whether you should buy it.